As we're all aware, the past month hasn't been the greatest for 2020, let alone the start. But that's not the purpose of this video. The real purpose is to talk about another set of leaks and rumors for a sequel, and this sequel that I'm going to be speaking on today is Spider-Man 2 for the PS5. Actually, the PS5, not the PS4. So with the PS5 coming out rumored around holiday 2020, leaks have surfaced for Marvel's Spider-Man 2 on PlayStation 5. This goes through a Reddit user by the name of Utopian Throwaway 90 claims that the launch date for this game will be 2021, and he suggests that a whole new roster of characters will be added, such as Venom, Carnage, and Mysterio. So this Reddit user goes on to say that he received this information from a contact who's familiar with the sequel's development. It outlines the rumored details in a long list, alleging that Insomniac's follow-up will take place in the winter, 5 to 6 months after the first game's event. Peter Parker, who is still obviously mourning Aunt May's death, living with Mary Jane like the first installment. The new entry will offer nothing short of a complete single-player experience. No multiplayer whatsoever. He goes on to say that fans should expect to see added, according to the rumor, Queens and Brooklyn. He says to accommodate these areas, Insomniac is implementing new swinging mechanics for low building traversal, in quotation. He also says that new villains will appear too, courtesy of super soldier cloning experiments gone wrong by Oscorp. He says, as teased in the first game's post-credits scenes, Harry Osborn will become Venom. That's an obvious statement. Anybody could make that. But he goes on to say that Insomniac intends to subvert expectations on this particular front. The studio further plans to introduce Spider-Man rogues Carnage and Mysterio. He also goes on to say that it will also have Eddie Brock, which is very interesting. As we all know, Eddie Brock in the original Sam Raimi trilogy of Spider-Man was Venom. He says that the latter will serve a major character throughout the narrative. He also goes on to say that Miles Morales will return as a playable character for certain sections again. However, Insomniac continues to toy with the idea of letting players free roam as him. So that could be an interesting idea made. So like we could possibly actually free roam as Miles Morales Spider-Man, like in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. So that's a very, very interesting idea, and it was hinted at the end of Spider-Man PS4. So this could be very interesting to do. He also goes on to say that the system that's currently in place mirrors that of Batman Arkham Knight, which was funny actually. This game and Spider-Man PS4 were also compared. So Arkham Knight and Spider-Man PS4 were also compared before in the past. Moving on, he also specifies he doesn't know whether this refers to the dual play combat mechanic or the flying mechanics in Arkham Knight. He also goes on to say that the web chain mechanic, he says with it, Spidey can chain together web zips, in quotation. So when you reach a point, he immediately zips to the next, and so on. Web swinging itself has allegedly received an overhaul. The animations, for instance, will be much more varied, meaning players won't repeatedly see the same animations. To accomplish this, Insomniac is bringing the swing release animations from the PS4 title and adding many more. Reportedly, the studio has 2 animators devoted to working exclusively on swinging release animations. Moreover, the rumor asserts Insomniac's sequel will feature 3 swing modes: realistic, arcade, and hybrid. While the names aren't final, their basic functions seem set in stone. Realistic is very Spider-Man 2-esque, meaning it relies on pure physics. Arcade mode offers fake assistance, and finally hybrid combines the two for something that will feel akin to the PS4 injuries mechanic. While much of this certainly sounds plausible, it's worth remembering these are mere rumors, so obviously take these with a very, very tiny grain of salt. And ladies and gents, that's been it. That is it for today's video, and I hope you enjoy, and I'll see you in the next week's.